Sup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sup?
You know,
Mental Health Monday.
the vibes. Getting that mind
It's
right.
it must be Monday.
Must be. Must be, because it's time. Get that mind right, boys and girls. Oh, Shep's done. He just quit the show.
Quit it. No, I'm gonna try to not be so bright.
Covered in
Right.
light. I feel like mine is very well lit today. I feel like I'm looking good with the
I think
stubble
that
and the stash.
I think this works much better for me here.
Little self love to start the show. A little self affirmation. Look at this motherfucker looking
I got a
good.
lot of Halloween lights back over in here.
You are rocking Halloween. I like to just all my decorations are multi seasonal, so I don't have to take anything down or put anything up.
I vibe with that. Bud.
It's just year round, baby.
Yeah,
Year round.
I vibe with that, man. Definitely. This is year round too. I keep going the wrong way. This is year round as well.
Right. It's we've done over 100 episodes and we still haven't figured out how to fucking point in the right direction on the stream.
No, I
This
never
guy,
will.
this guy, yeah.
I look at it like I'm looking this way. So when I'm thinking of going this way, I'm actually like, oh wait, this
Right.
way.
Right.
I'll
Maybe that's
never
what I
get
need
it
to
right.
start. That's what I need to start doing. I need to remember if I'm trying to point at you, I'm thinking you're right here for me, but actually I just need to start pointing in the opposite direction.
I guess we could always put like post-it notes up, on top.
It's
Like,
just a post-it note on my computer that says "fucking point this way."
point the
Not the
right
other way.
way, not the wrong way. Point it the right way.
Mental Health Monday. Shep, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about protecting four homes in your life. The mind, the body, friends and family, and the earth, baby, because we only got one planet to live on. So if we fuck it up anymore than we already have, we're going to be in some trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Which one you want to start with?
pretty much that. I mean, it's time to get our minds right, if you know what I'm saying, right? So I think mine's the best.
Mind.
Best
All
way to
right.
start. Yeah.
We'll start with the mind.
Start it up with mind.
So yeah, I mean the home of your mind. Yeah, we'll start with that. Um, yeah, I think it's super important to take good care of your mental, because I mean I feel like if anything that's where you live the most.
Yeah.
And I mean I think people really live in their heads, a lot
Too
of the
much.
time. Too much is exactly what I was about to say. They
Too much.
definitely do it too much, but I mean if you're going to be spending all that time there, I mean you might as well make it a place worth
It's
staying.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the home you live in. Yeah, you're gonna want to make it a place that's comfortable to go home to and come back to. Even like I don't try to live in my head, but even then, when I go back into it, I want it to be a nice place to come back into. I don't want it to be disgusting and hateful and negative. And yeah, like you said earlier, it's the one place from beginning to end that you'll be in the entire time. Other
Mhm.
people's opinions, other people's mindsets, they'll come and go, but yours, that's it. That's it. You get one. So it's best to always take care of that one first, and that's why I thought it was nice to go on this subject first. This is the best one.
I agree. It's
To
the
me,
most important.
if that one's not aligned, the rest won't line up with you.
It's true. Yeah, because a lot of people they don't like being alone. When they are alone, they immediately start trying to distract themselves with other stuff, and a lot of that is because they're not taking proper care to that home of the mind, and you know, uh, it's not a comfortable place for them to be. And just like a real home, if you let it get real dirty in your house and shit, like the more stuff builds up, the less likely you're going to be to clean. Like you're just going to be so overwhelmed by everything
Yep.
that you're just going to sit in your house depressed all the time. And
I've been
that's
there, and
the
I've
same
been
thing
there.
with your mind.
Yep. And yeah, and it makes it just that much harder to get back on track, even in both situations there. It's just that much harder to get back on track. So like I've always made it, like I said, my number one priority is going to be the mind. If the mind's right, you can get the body in line. If the body's in line, The friends and families, they'll love it. The earth, you can take care of it. We'll get onto those subjects in a second, but like,
Right, right.
you know what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like,
it's the first domino, if you will,
it
to
definitely
fall.
is.
Like, uh, is was body separate from mind? I think body was separate from mind.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'll
body.
hold off. I'll hold off. Uh, but I guess maybe I won't, because the two things are correlated. Because I was going to say, I know we've talked recently about myself changing up my diet and stuff, and
Hmm.
with dealing with anxiety and stuff, and dealing with mental health issues. I've always been told that a lot of like your diet and stuff does play a factor into to your mental health. And so again,
Yeah.
in taking care of your body, you are also taking care of your mind as well.
I mean, there's benefits to all that because yeah, if you go start working out when you never really did, you'll notice a difference. That's going to affect your mind, and your body's going to be affected, and overall, you're going to feel a little bit better about yourself, uh, which then can make the world around you feel a little bit better because if you're loving yourself, you're going to want to spread that shit,
Hmm.
and you're going to be in good vibes with the rest of the people and shit like that. Uh, like that's where I've always been at in life and what I've always done. So my mind's already on that track. I actually had a conversation with the dude the other day when I was at work because the people that normally do my job are big assholes because they can be assholes. If I wanted to be an asshole doing my job, I could, but I choose not
Right.
to because it's like dumb. And like, you know, he was a guy up from Chicago and stuff, and he was down, and we was talking, and it's like, man, once people just realize like everybody's just trying to make it, dude. We're just trying to do our best and get through, and get what was promised us when we were young. However, it was promised to you. I was like, once you realize that, I was like, you kind of can see some like empathy from a lot of shit around the world, and around your perception of the world, because you know, is murder bad? Murder's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that shit's cool at all, and I'm not advocating that or something like that. But once you realize like a position, like to me, I always look at like how sad it must have been in a position that that person thought that that was their only option. I don't look at it as like fuck that piece of shit. He just murdered somebody. Fuck them. It's
Right.
like yo, like what was the situation that got to that person to that point to where they thought that was their only option for survival and to keep making it.
Hmm.
And to me, it's like yo, if the whole of everybody kept looking at things that way, maybe it'd be a little bit different there. But
Yeah.
I don't know how I got off on that tangent, my guy. But
If we've talked about it once, we've talked about it a million times. Perspective. We should just get that tattooed on our fucking faces at this point. Yeah. Just we talk about it so often. Perspective, just like right around the eyeball. Uh, but it's true. Like I know I forget which book I read it in, but it gives this example of it's like a nun who's like she's like redoing like a bathroom or something like that, and so she has to pick out tile, and it's like she's so invested in that, and she's so like into picking out the tile that like everywhere she goes, like now she just notices like tile everywhere she goes, like where she wouldn't have before. And that's just one of those things where it's like that's your reality, that's your mindset. uh you know the tile is obviously just an example, but like if you create the world you live in, like if your mind, if you're viewing things in a good light, then you're going to see more good. If you're viewing things in a bad light, you're always going to see that bad. And the
mhm,
thing is, they're both
mhm,
always there. So it's just one of those things. If you go looking for it, you're always going to find it.
mhm.
If you're looking for shit to complain about, if you're looking for bad times, they're always going to be there. But me personally, like bad things will happen. I'll bitch about it. I'll vent about it. I'm very pro venting. But at the same time, I'm the kind of person who sees a bad situation and knows that it's part of the good. Like, I'm not going to be able to get to anything good if I don't go through this bad first.
I vibe with that. No, yeah, and that's how it's got to be. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of people that I feel like in their own mind, though, even it always looks at how you look at a situation. Like if you see somebody doing better than you, how do you react to that in your own head? Like to me, I'm always like, damn, hell yeah, good for them. You know,
Yeah.
they must have worked hard. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, or some shit like that. It's never a negative, but once you get that negative mindset in your own head, everything
Hmm.
around you in your world, that's all you're gonna want to. That's gonna be the first shit you notice in people around you, around the world. That's how you're gonna feel. And that's the vibes you're gonna get off when somebody new meets you and bumps into you, and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like that might be how
Yeah.
you come across it. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
okay, well,
And
my bad.
that inner mindset definitely comes out.
Oh yeah,
Like people notice. Like
oh yeah.
it affects everything around you. Like you were saying earlier about your job. Like I having worked there before and having different people in your position when I was there. Like yeah, a lot of them were assholes. you know,
Well, even
but
yeah, yeah.
and it's like and it's one of those things where because of that you never wanted to deal with these people. It put like such a sour taste in your mouth, like having to go to the back and deal with anything. Like whereas on the flip side you get somebody like you who's more laid back, who's chill about it, who's a good dude. That's a whole different vibe. Now you're looking for fucking reasons to go back to receiving, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, no, and that's the way it should be. But then, like, for me on my end though too, like you got to remain that healthy boundary of not letting people like overstep that shit. At the same time,
right.
and be
But
like, oh, he's chill, he's fine, he's gonna be cool with that. Like, no, 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 like so it's
right.
all respect. Like, I'm chill as fuck.
Gentle but firm, you
Yeah,
know.
when we're chill as fuck. But if you like, I'm gonna tell you, because some of them will do that. Like, because I
Mhm.
close at a certain time, they'll show up late, and it's like, my guy, like, if a restaurant closes at 10 and you show up at 10:30, are you getting into that motherfucker, or are they just gonna look at you? So why do you think I should be coming back apologizing to you right now?
That's fair. Yeah.
It's like I think it should be the other way around. Like, you're interrupting my time at this moment. Like, no matter what I'm doing, like that's my time.
Yeah.
But
And
hey, and again though, that's it. It's like that's not that. I can be like, fuck that, fuck you, but
mhm. Exactly. Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
that's not how we roll, man. Unless you deserve it. If you come at me, fuck me, I'm gonna come at me, fuck you. In
Right.
return,
Yeah. It just
some
escalates.
shit.
I was thinking about that the other day, where my dad can be kind of a grump, about shit. And very often, the rest of us are always like, why, bro? Like, why you got to be so mad all the time about shit?
Yeah.
Like, and I was just thinking about, I imagined this scenario the other day. It didn't play out, but like I imagined it because it has played out before. But like I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, like, if he tries to come like through this way, he's gonna be like, why the fuck? Why are you sitting here? Why are you in the fucking way? Blah blah blah. There's a better way to do that, which is, hey bud, could you move?
Could you move?
And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move, and it's
Could you
not going to
get
be
up
an
out the
issue.
way?
But when you get that negative vibe from somebody, when somebody just comes at you like that, then you're going to come at them, and negativity creates more negativity, etc., etc., and on
It
we go.
does. It
But
does.
I was going to say something else as well about, like, with the home of your mind and having to live there all the time. You know, hey,
What's up,
acknowledge.
Pudgy? I'll never acknowledge you. No, I'm kidding. I love you, buddy.
um you gotta check how you're talking to yourself sometimes in your head. Like, what you were kind of saying about, like, you can look at other people who are like doing better than you at something and just be really shitty about it. And that's a good way to never get to that person's level. That's a good way to never get any better at the situation. If you're constantly being negative towards what other people have and you don't, then I don't. That's not really going to serve you to get to the point where you're trying to get to.
No, you got to be appreciative of what you already do have,
Mhm.
versus what you could lose. 'Cause you could lose everything, even if you don't think you got anything to lose. Life will show you that you do got a little bit more to lose. I feel like
Cheers
green
from the
team
green team.
from the
Green team
green team.
represent.
Look at that. Where'd those guys come from? Hey, where'd they pop up from? I ain't heard that name in a minute. Green team.
Right? At least for a few months.
That's fat. Yeah, so like in doing with your mind, which is positive, don't don't get stressed out. You feel yourself getting stressed, take a day to yourself. I like to communicate that with people if I have to.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just need to holler at people and be like, "Yo, just need a minute. I just
Yeah.
need today for me." I just nap, so it's like fuck it. If somebody's mad, they can be mad at all they want and call and message, but I'm asleep. Sorry, that's what I did today. I took a nice ass nap.
Yeah.
But in doing that, we work into the body because you got to take care of your body. I don't know, like just.
I don't know. Just fucking take care of your body.
I mean, I was gonna say it kind of depends on how you look at it because it's like most people that I know want to live really long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you're gonna need to take care of yourself if that's what you want to do. I per se don't want to live too very long, but like I want to live long enough,
Right.
So you got to
my
take care of
my
yourself.
my thing with that is like when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to live forever." Well, I'm not like trying to live forever. I ain't trying to be immortal or nothing. But like, I'm not one of those people who you're gonna hear me bitching if I'm living to 100. Like, because the way I always see things like that, like one, like yes, it would suck if I'm getting up into old age, but this ties in with taking care of your body. Like if you're taking care of your body, by the time you're getting older, you could be like in your 70s and still be fucking Michael Keaton being out there being Batman. You know what I mean? Like there's
Well, I
still
mean,
there's still some people
you
kicking.
can. Nah,
If you take
my
care of
grandpa's the
yourself.
best example. My grandpa's the best example. He's in 84, but he's still mobile. He can still move around. He can still do things. Like I said, we all went on vacation this past
Hmm.
year, and he was killing it at them games where you'd go up and talk to the people and guess the age, and they'd all guess like 74, 73, and he's like, nah, 84. Like gotcha.
Yeah.
So like I feel that, but I feel like no matter how well you take care of yourself, there's a certain point where your body just can't
Right.
do it.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's like I don't want to get that far into it myself.
no, yeah, I feel that. If I'm getting like real up
Like
there, that's what I'm saying is
80s, if I made it to my 80s, I'd be like hallelujah. You know what
my
I'm
my
saying?
my two sides of that is like if I'm getting that old, I just hope that like I'm at least healthy and not in like a lot of pain and stuff. Because fuck no, do I want to keep being old and like be in pain and all this shit? I'd just be like, grandson, kill me, please, like all the time. But the flip side of that, like I just recently had some great grandparents pass away in my life. Like they passed away this year, and they all of them made it into their 90s. I had my great grandparents around until just these past couple of years, and I think about that a lot, and I just think about, damn, the things you can see in 90 years. Like I feel like
A
I've
lot.
seen a lot in 26 years, but like fuck, damn near 100. Like that's a lot to see. That's a lot of life to take in.
Well, compared to them too, because these past 90 years living through would have been bonkers compared to where our 90 years might go.
The technology. That's
The
right.
technology, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because I feel like we're hitting a stride, a point to where like we keep coming up with like new shit, but it's not like inventing electricity new shit. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that kind of shit's gonna take a while. So like the grandparents, they got to live through a lot of stuff. Like, and I love even getting that opportunity to have lived around them and have conversation with them. I just had a conversation with my grandpa about air conditioners and like the first air conditioners and shit like that, and how
Yeah.
he was like, when they installed one on his Navy ship, that the electricians installed the very first air conditioner like any of them had really ever seen, and they put it up in this hallway pointing towards their room, so it would blow the cold air out towards their room. But in the room my grandpa stayed in would blow the exhaust, so it would blow the hot air up into his room. And he's like,
Yeah.
it didn't do anything because all the hot and cold air is mixing up and not doing shit. And then he talked about one like at the university,
Hmm.
how they would fill the basement full of ice and a big fan would like carry all this cold air up. And he's like, every 3 months you'd have to fill it up with new ice, and that's why it wasn't like a perceivable way to have an air conditioner. But that was one of the first ones ever installed and shit. And to be able
Yeah.
to like um get this knowledge that's like, I would never know this shit. I've had,
Right.
you know, we had window units when I was a kid.
Right.
Central air was becoming like a big buzz in the neighborhood.
Right now we have like fanless fans and shit. Like,
Yeah. But like back then it was like, you know, like
bet he was
I bet he was honky tonking. I bet he was. He tells me those honky tonking stories now too about going down. And he had a sweet ass car down there in Florida, but that's for a what if Wednesday. I feel like
I was gonna say this isn't as much to do with the body as it is just aging and old people. But on a different note, since we're on this subject, talk to your grandparents and stuff. Like with the time that you have, like they've got great stories. Like I absolutely love hearing these types of stories from my own grandparents and getting to know them and the things that they've seen. Like it's interesting. Even people who I'm not related to. Back in the day when I was a cook at Hooters, I opened, so every morning I would go to that Hardee's like next to it for breakfast. And to this day this is still true. Like it's always like me and then like all the old people at breakfast. But like I love like just sitting there and just like listening in on like there's always that group of old people who met up every single day for just like coffee, some biscuits, you know, whatnot at Hardee's, and they just kick it. They talk. We used to have a group like that at the Oakwood McDonald's. You know, I feel like everywhere has like, you know, the old people who like
you got your old people.
Yeah, but it's cool to just sit back and like just listen to them like talk on some stuff
and the weird knowledge you'd gain through it. Yeah, because like even then, that prompted me to ask him what did people do before there was air conditioners there? Because I was like, well, you know, hot ass night. You know, what'd you do? Obviously, you didn't have a fan, you know, and shit like that in your window. And he said that a lot of people up there would go to Memorial Stadium and they'd go up into the bleachers and they'd sleep up there. Because he's like, if you hit 70 feet or higher, there's a breeze. He's like, on hot nights, that's what everybody in town did. They went to the stadium and they went up in the bleachers and they slept. And I was like, damn, like, I didn't even know that. Like, that's dope as fuck. Like, I would have never have thought. I would have never have known. Just another little fun tidbit.
I feel like we kind of like mixed some stuff up here. We, you know,
to
get into the family friends part of today's.
That is true. Yeah, we're blending everything within this. There's 4 houses, family and friends. We'll touch back on all this later on.
Yeah, we'll get back to the family and friends, but we'll jump back to the body for now.
Jump back to the body.
Like I said earlier, taking care of the body takes care of the mind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not somebody, I don't like going to the gym and shit, you know, like I totally get that with people. But at the same time, I do recognize the importance of exercising. I
liked going to the gym.
My thing with the gym is like, you know, I get embarrassed. You know, like I don't like other people watching me and shit. So like, I'd rather just work out at home.
But see, people don't really like, I don't know, like to me, people don't really watch you at the gym. Maybe they was, I don't know.
For me, like it's shit. It's things like that being said to me. It's like, oh, that never happens. Well, it happened to me. Like somebody, like I was doing something wrong and somebody came out and they weren't like a dick about it or anything. They were really cool about it.
I mean,
like,
I think you've said that.
Yeah. Hey man, you're on that backwards. I'm like, oh, thanks, bud. And I left. I straight up left.
That's it. I don't know. Like
I was embarrassed, bro.
I only had one person make one comment to me. But it was like we was chilling. Me and my ex was at the gym working out, I think she was working out, and I was just sitting there waiting. And a dude walked by, and he's just like, bro, I love it. I love the whole style, the headband, everything. He's like, you're rocking shit, and I was just like, bro, thanks, my guy. Like it's the
obvious choice. Turn tail and leave. See, your comment was a lot fucking different than the comment I got. Your comment was like, dude's like complimenting you and shit, and it's like, what? Your vibes, I love it. I was
like, what can I say, my guy? Like, I like to dress in style no matter where I'm at, even if I'm working at.
This dude was super nice to me. He was just trying to help me out. He's like, hey man, you want to do that the other way around? Oh, thanks, bud. Yeah, thanks. And I fucking left and never went back to that gym again. But anyways,
like, I'm the type that I would have been like, can you help me? Like, because I'm so fucking lost when it comes to that shit, because I had never went to the gym. And like, as funny as it was, because my dad was like a gym rat. Like, he was big into working out and big into doing that shit. So you would have thought at some point I would have went with him and been like, yo, I want to get into this shit, but I never did. So I still don't know what to do. But at the same time, like if somebody, I don't know, if somebody was correcting me, it's better when you go with somebody else for sure. Like I don't think I
Oh
would want
yeah.
to.
Oh
I
yeah.
won't go by
The
myself.
most I went to the gym was when Phil and I went to the gym together, or I used to go with my dad. So like a few times I went with my dad when I was in high school, but he went like super early ass in the morning, and I'm like, I ain't trying to do all this. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, even as somebody who like I don't like the gym and stuff, I recognize the importance of exercise. And like I love to walk. I love to walk. I go for walks every day. I'll tell people how long I walk and like how far I walk, and they think I'm fucking crazy. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "I just do it for fun. Literally every day I'll go for a walk at least an hour. Like an hour is my minimum walk."
I mean, I could go for long ass walks. Like I've walked. I used to live out by.
Can't we just collectively agree just not to go in the first place? Just don't even put ourselves in the position. Let's
I mean, like I listen. Y'all go to the gym. I'm gonna make sure I know about this. And I'm gonna show them. You're
You're gonna
fucking
show up
using
and be
that.
like, "These
You're
guys,
using that
oh,
wrong. Hey, you're using that wrong. No, I would never do that. I would never call nobody out like that. Honestly, I'd be like, oh man, I'd be like sitting over at
no."
my spot, like,
Right?
but
You whisper to the other person you came with, and you fucking make fun of them in
I
private.
mean, people
You
do,
know,
but like these days, everybody's got the earphones in. They're in their own world. Like the most that I ever had people talk was like, "You done using that? Whatever." So I like going to the gym. I need to go back. I need to start
I know.
working on myself.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. The topic is body. We just keep talking about the fucking gym at this point.
But you
You
gotta
gotta,
love yourself, and that's the most important thing. Is like to me about body already is like, you can't really pick and choose your body. I guess you can to a certain extent if you have
Mhm.
money and you want to get plastic surgery and shit like that. But you're
True.
gonna start probably gonna start
I'll
looking
have
a
one of
little
those.
wonky.
One of
Uh,
those.
but we really can't choose our bodies, so it is very important to align with the mind and love yourself and love the body that you are in and treat it well
Yeah.
while you're here,
Yeah.
because you
That's
only
another
get
good
one.
point.
Like I
Yeah.
got these dumbass tattoos all over my arm and stuff, but like I'm cool with living with them. It's not like I can cut my
Right.
arm off,
Right. Yeah.
but I do think about it from time to time. Nah, I don't. I think that would suck. Like it would kind of suck if I lost my right arm
Yeah. Well,
and
that's
I
one of
went
those
down to
things,
having like two
in
tattoos.
the fact that I do go for a walk every day. It's something that I make sure to appreciate my body when I go on these walks. Like I appreciate the fact that I can go for these walks. Like I appreciate that. um, like in the event I was in an accident or something, and like my legs were broken, or I was never able to walk again. Like, or you got people in your life who can't walk. Like, you got to appreciate that stuff. People who have lost limbs and stuff. It's very easy to take a lot of that stuff for granted. But also what you were saying as well, like not only just taking care of your body, but loving your body where it's at. And if it's one of those things where you don't love where your body's at, then you can change it. You can change it. You can't pick a different body, but you can work on it. You can take care of yourself. Like I'm
Yeah,
doing
you can,
now. I'm changing up the diet, exercising even more.
and you can fall in love with the process.
Mhm. But I remember like the moments where I started becoming more comfortable with my body, because like I remember like in junior high and stuff. I've always been a big dude. I've always been super hairy, like a fucking werewolf. Even in junior high, and so like I for the longest time I never wore shorts. I'm talking for years, like almost a goddamn decade. I just didn't wear shorts, just because I felt embarrassed by like my hairiness, I guess. And who actually broke me of that was Henry Cavill playing Superman in Man of Steel. When I saw Man of Steel and I saw how fucking hairy Henry Cavill was, I was like, bro, we're here. We're out here. We're here. We're hairy. We're proud. We love it. And then the person who made me more comfortable with my body was actually Seth Rogen. When I saw Neighbors, and at the end of that movie, he goes and finds Zac Efron being like the Hollister model or whatever, or and they're like he's standing outside with his shirt off, and Seth Rogen's like, I'm going to do the same. And he takes his shirt off right next to Zac Efron, and they're both like flaunting and stuff. Like, I don't know, that scene in that movie like really just made me like way more comfortable with my body. You know, sometimes it's those little tiny things.
Yeah, no, like they come with the territory. When you're taking care of yourself, you're gonna start noticing changes within yourself, and it's gonna help you love yourself, and then you'll be able to do that kind of stuff. And some people need to go to like different lengths to do it. Some people
Yeah.
like they might not have felt comfortable taking a shirt off until they got a big ass chest tattoo, and then now they're like, well, I want to show this, I got to do this, and now I'm comfortable. Like sometimes it does that, like
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah,
how
that's
it
true.
works. But I feel like you can find your stride, and you can definitely take care, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out,
You can
do
figure it
your
out.
thing. You do your thing, love yourself, treat yourself right. Watch what you eat. Like even like I said, if you're just doing that at the bare minimum, even if you're like working out's not for me, you got to pay attention to what you ingest, because ingesting
Yeah.
certain,
Yeah.
if you're ingesting nothing but shit, you're gonna be
Mm.
shit.
Yeah,
You
like
gotta get
I'm at a point now where I have fully accepted that like if I'm gonna eat pizza, like I'm going into it knowing what I'm about to do to myself. Like I love pizza, like pizza's great, but like any sort
I
of
eat
pizza
pizza
these
a
days,
lot.
I used to be able to a lot, but like especially these past few years, I've realized that pizza just like really fucks with my stomach and everything, and so that's one of those things that like if I am gonna eat pizza, I'm gonna do it, very very scarcely these days. But like even now, like with changing up my diet, like I've started eating a lot more like fruits and veggies and shit like that, um, and doing the more like plant based kind of diet. But before, when I've tried this, like I'm constantly just trying to go like full like vegetarian, full vegan, and like just try to jump in on that. But this time around has been a little different because I'm not as concerned about this like, oh, I've got to change this diet for some superficial reason. It's like, no, like for health purposes I need to change this, and it's been easier to take those baby steps this time. And like, so I've still gotten like fast food here and there, or like eaten like meat at home and stuff, but like far more like scarce than usual, like
It's just about doing it.
moderation.
Yeah, moderation, taking it in stride, man. Like
Hmm.
you can have fast food if you was eating out once a week. Ain't too bad.
Right.
But
Unless
it
you're going to
really,
like a buffet and just like fucking yourself
well,
up
yeah,
once a
but
week,
like
maybe don't do that.
it really just, like I said, it really just depends. Because even then, we dog fast food a lot. But if you was eating there once a day for a meal, and you're eating like a McChicken and fries, you wouldn't blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really about
I
not.
know because that's what I was doing for the longest time. It wasn't a McChicken and fries. It was the morning McChicken biscuit, and hash browns, but whatever.
But I'm saying, like, if that was
I
all
didn't
you
blow up.
ate the entire day, you'd be
Oh, the
fine.
entire day. Yeah.
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 Like
Yeah.
that's to say, like you'd be fine. Where people mess up is, like me, I'll go through there just with the little clouds pouring out, and I'll be like, yo, I'll take the McNugget meal, I'll take a McChicken,
Right.
I'll take another fry, like and like like I'm blessed enough to be able to do that and not have to eat it all and throw out some shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
just be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
damn, I just wanted to have a little bit of all this, but like, it's fucked up. I've stopped doing that, but like those are like when I was in my and I've been there, but when I was in like my dark stages of depression, like that would be like a normal thing to
Yeah.
go through and be like, yo, I'm gonna get a sandwich to eat on my way home. I'm gonna get like two to have when I get there, some nuggets, a bunch of fries, a couple sodas. Like fuck it, I don't give a
Hmm.
shit. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, these motherfuckers are probably thinking I'm buying food for the whole family. It's like, nah, this is all me,
Right.
bro.
Sometimes when I go and do like my McDonald's order in the morning, I always think of that skit from Key and Peele where he's just like the real fat dude and he's calling to order pizza and he's pretending like he's having a party and he's just talking to like his action figures and shit. What did you want? Yeah, we're probably gonna have to get another pie. Fucking, it's exactly how it feels.
Yeah, no, like sometimes, but like I said, if you're just going through
Not
every
true.
now and then.
I don't got to share shit with nobody. I'm gonna eat that whole thing.
Yeah, like to me, if I went with somebody to share, now that is like a doubled order. Like
Right.
you'd get like the 20-piece McNuggets. And
Right,
then
right, right.
if I was getting 2 McChickens, I'd get 4 McChickens at that
Right,
point.
right, right. Or, you know, if you're just really stoned, sometimes it happens, you know.
Sometimes it does, and I mean, like I get that, like, and that's why to me, if you're eating good for the most part, when you
Mhm.
have those moments of being drunk, being
Yeah.
stoned, being fucked up, and you're like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna eat right
Because
now.
that's what I was gonna say about, like, you know, you were saying you're not gonna blow up or nothing if you're just like constantly if you're just constantly eating stuff like that, but you will feel worse about
Oh, yeah.
yourself, like in a lot of different ways. I know that's how it was for me. You know, I'm constantly going out and just eating like fast food and junk and all this stuff. And you know, it was just feeding into my depression. It was feeding into my anxiety even more. And then it was a vicious cycle because now I'm using this food to cope, but the food is also making me feel sluggish, which is making me feel lethargic, and it just goes on and on and on and on.
Sluggish, ruggish bone, man. You never want to get to
That's
that
right.
point.
That's right.
So
Glad to be
that's when you
doing
got to
better.
switch it up, man. And you do, yeah, and that's just like that. And you can still revisit your favorite places time to time, and you'll never know. Like by that time, you'll go through there and you'll be like, "Damn, maybe I just need the medium meal." You know what I mean? I don't need a large this time.
And you know, when you do that as well, you know, like clearly, you know, it's the McDonald's breakfast for me. That's like my weak spot for sure. Like, and for a while there, like I was literally like every fucking morning, like
Yeah.
they had to know who I was just by my order, like because I ordered the same shit every day. I'm like, give me that. As soon as that commercial came out, that was
I did
like
the same. I did the same though there because like when I was in school for the military, they had the McDonald's right across the street from where I slept. So I could wake up a little bit earlier than I needed, like before we were gonna need to leave, and I could dash over there real quick. And that's when they had the Southern chicken biscuit. So it was like every day was like I'll take a Southern chicken biscuit, a
uh-huh.
hash brown, a cinnamelt, and an orange juice, and that was like breakfast every day. And yeah, man, I'm
I
telling
was
you that
already going there every morning, and I was like, I want the
the ship.
McChicken biscuit. I want the chicken McGriddle, 2 hash browns, large sweet tea. That's my order every time. And I was doing that before they dropped the commercial. That's like, why choose when you can have both? I'm like, I agree. That's clearly what I've been doing. 2 for $3. I'm on it. But it's just not good for you. But what I was saying is, you know, I'm doing that every single day, and that's one of those things where, like, as much as I enjoy it so much more now because it's a rarity, because it's an every so often thing. You know, same with pizza. I know it might fuck my stomach up, but I'm gonna enjoy that pizza a lot more now than if I was just eating pizza all the time. You know, so
A lot of it to me is really the sugar content. I feel like as humans, we've overused sugar in a lot of shit. So that's where, like, you know, you were saying breakfast, and that's where eating breakfast fucks you up because syrup contains a lot of sugar, a lot of sugar. And if you're
yep.
eating pancakes, that's a lot of sugar.
Take care of your body, y'all.
Take care of it. You got to watch the sugar, and the fried foods too will get you too.
This
Always
all
try to
sounds
bake.
so good. Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here right now. Like, guess who's going to McDonald's for breakfast tomorrow?
I know I talk my shit, but I need to make these s'mores. I got these baller ass s'mores to make because they got chocolate filled marshmallows.
Hey, bring that shit out to camp
I
when
know,
we film
right?
our campfire scenes.
I don't know if I could drop that knowledge on those kids.
Oh, you ain't trying to share. You ain't trying to share. We'll get like a separate bag. Like they won't know about the secret. Like,
no, I'm saying like because I got the Reese's cups to throw on top.
oh my
I'm letting
goodness,
the
this
secrets out
guy,
on live stream though, so
this
like here I'm
guy.
fucking up. Here I'm fucking up anyway.
It's okay. No, none of them watch this show anyways. That's all good.
But yeah, no, like I'm gonna try to. I think I might make a TikTok showing it because it's like to me this is the ultimate way to make a s'more. Fuck a Hershey bar. Why did we ever use Hershey's bars?
When Reese's are sitting right here. That's a good point. It's a valid point.
I feel like Hershey's might have paid somebody to be like, this is
pay them off.
You know what I'm saying?
Reese's,
nah.
Don't let Reese's in the s'more game.
I'm saying graham cracker, and then hopefully this milk chocolate filled marshmallow Reese's cup graham cracker is going to be the ultimate 2021 s'more, hands down. Fucking let's go,
Shep
Halloween,
out here
baby.
fucking up the s'more game.
I'm getting ready, babe. It's about fall time. I'm getting real hype. I got uh caramel apple caramels at the moment from Werther's. Shout outs to Werther's.
Werther's. How old are
Very
you
very
again?
tasty. 34. Bro, these slap. If you've never had these, I wish Pudgy was still on the stream.
I'm pretty sure anybody with a grandparent has had Werther's.
Not these are the soft caramels though. These are not the hard candies.
Oh,
These are
okay,
not the hard
okay.
candies. They've got more than just the hard candies. Now I get that if it was
I know
the
it
hard
sounds
candy.
like I'm hating, but like I fuck with Werther's. You know?
No, these caramels they melt in your mouth. They melt in your fucking mouth. But like they've got like hard shell with soft, chewy center ones. They've got a lot.
Anyway,
Werther's has stepped their game up. They're
before
not
we
just
start
for
a
the old
fucking
heads. For the body.
Food Network calls us here to give us a show. What's next? What's next in the homes?
Earth. We got to protect our ultimate home, Earth.
I agree. I could probably be doing more when it comes to that, but I do try to do, some stuff. Like if I'm walking out, well, just any day I go out for a walk. If I take the trash out or something, sometimes trash will blow into the yards here at the apartments, and like fuck it, I'm on my way to the trash. Like I'll pick it up, like I'll throw it in, come back in, wash my hands. Just even if it's that one little piece of garbage, and there's a few things that I'll do. Like I should recycle probably, but I don't. We don't have like a recycling thing here and everything. But like, and who knows? My dad told me this once, and there may be no truth to this, but like I always take the caps off the bottles before I throw them away, because it's like it takes up less space in a landfill or something like that. Could be bullshit. I never looked into it. I just took my dad's word for it. So, but you can do what you can.
Yeah, no, I mean, same. I know, I should be doing the recycling game and treating the earth a lot better than I have. But we as a collective have really fucked the planet up. So, I mean,
Right.
What I do what I can on my own here because it's just one of those things again, like they've monopolized every kind of thing you can do. Like if I like to treat the planet better, I don't think I should have to pay extra and do extra to be able to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like buying products that are from reused fabrics and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, anything I can. I actually still got it right now. Drinking water, water that comes in aluminum bottles that you can save. Reuse it.
Yeah, reusable stuff. Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah.
I know a big thing with like pollution and stuff is like the old I believe the old beef industry, shit like that, like can really fuck up the earth in a lot of ways, and that's just another reason that I've kind of tried to back away from that.
Well,
Yeah,
all kinds of shit too, if you really think about it. Because the one that I saw people talking about that was the most was the ocean.
mhm,
A lot of people don't realize we're eating a
mhm,
lot more fish and shit than the ocean is able to produce. And if the ocean's economy or ecology, that's right, ecology breaks down,
right.
then we're pretty much fucked here. If the ocean turned acidic, we're fucked. There's a lot of play that comes into the ocean.
We'll see you on Mars.
They don't. We're fucked basically.
We'll all go fuck that up next. We'll all be like Jeffrey Bezos, take us with you.
I'd want to just be shot out. Like just let me go. If I find something cool, I'll report back. If not,
that would be kind of rad. Just like be sent up into space. Like they let you take like a whole bunch of weed and shit. And you're just up in space, just chilling. I'd never come back.
just like we're gonna let you go like 100 light years away. Report back whatever you see.
Yeah. Fuck it.
200 years, they'd get a message back from me, and I'd be like, "Ah, dude, that was crazy," and I would be just like this, like, "Hey, that was nuts. It's time to live."
Or yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, the taking care of the earth thing. I don't know if I'm the best representative to talk about this, just because I feel like I'm not doing as much as I could. I think this is one I could take some
Well, I mean,
you know
even
change on.
just trying to educate yourself on better ways to do some is a
Mhm.
lot more than sitting around doing nothing
I
about
mean,
the.
I know one thing that I did, like back in the day, teenage years, like living in a small ass town. People like to like go joyriding and shit like that. Just riding around, fucking getting into trouble. Out in the country. And something that we would do often is just throw shit out the window. And just like it'd be littering and stuff. And that's something I quit even before we got out of high school. I was like, bro, we can't be doing this. Like, this is fucked up. Like, this is most definitely adding to the problem. Like, there's no two ways about that. But yeah, so don't litter, kids. Like the fuck, don't Aren't we
And I'd
past that?
also say a lot of this, to me, also would be just getting out there and exploring this earth that we live on, and
Yeah,
seeing different spots of it, and aligning
yeah,
yourself with the nature side of our planet.
yeah.
And
Not just taking care of it, just appreciating it.
well,
Yeah,
even then, the want to take care of it may flow in through
hmm
appreciating different aspects of it, and like, to me, that's a lot of this too. When the mind and the body is aligned, you'll see that nature will align, and the planet will align with you as well,
hmm
and work in your favor. And I think appreciating it and trying your best to take care of it, because it's just like, to me, it's just like one of those like religious types of aspects in life of, if you tried your best to be good, you'll make it. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you try your best to not fuck this planet up intentionally, if you're not out there and dumping oil in rivers and shit like that, you're gonna
right,
be fine. That
right.
you're treating the planet right, and it knows that. We're not doing probably even a smidge as bad as these corporations are doing to our planet. So just getting
Yeah,
that awareness, gaining that knowledge, and getting out there and viewing it and
mhm,
experiencing it for yourself is the best
yeah.
way that I think that I can say would be protecting your home.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with getting out there and seeing the world. I think that's both seeing the world. You get to see the earth and and nature and everything, and getting out there you learn to appreciate it more, and getting out there and seeing the world and seeing different cultures, meeting new people makes you appreciate those people more too, and like and it as your heart grows for other things, you're going to want to take care of these things, like,
Oh yeah,
so yeah, I agree.
yeah. So
I
that
agree.
wraps up the earth part, and then family and friends is another one that's big to
Mm,
protect, because
yes.
everybody needs their little community in life to get by, and
hmm
to have their support and their place to run to in their times of need or their times of joy and triumph. So I think that's a big one to
I agree.
protect,
Yeah.
and that's, it's always bothered me about our society of being so quick to, say like, oh, cut a motherfucker out, cut him off, fuck him.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, to an extent, I mean,
I
it
was gonna
just
say
depends.
there's two sides to that, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking people. I've been one of those people who struggles with cutting people out. Like, because I feel like I can't, like, I feel like it's a bad thing. Like, oh, I don't want to just cut somebody out, but sometimes you got to recognize who needs cut out, and you need to remember that just because you're cutting somebody out does not mean that you can't let them back in. Like, if they have genuinely made a change in their life, sure, you can let them back in. But if they're still fucking around, like, yeah, don't fall back into that
Well,
trap,
you can
clearly.
usually always see actions always show you the truth of everything,
Right.
in my opinion. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. They're just, to me, it's a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's very toxic, like to the point that they're really affecting you, like huge, yeah, I get that. Cutting somebody up. Someone just fucks up one time, and you're like, fuck that motherfucker. We're done ski. I mean, to me, it just depends on personally, it's always been a time and a length. If you're somebody I don't really know or something like that,
hmm
all right, what kind
Right.
of L is that really for either of you? Not very much.
Yeah.
But like, to me, when if it's somebody that I've known for a long ass time. I mean, it'd have to be something very significant, like I said, that traumatized me to a point where I was like, I can never see you and fuck with you again. I love you, nothing but the best, but
Mhm.
we're done with that shit.
Yeah, I agree. Even in times where I'm being negative, like you have personally heard me bitch about people that we're close with that, like I'll get to bitching and I'm coming across so negative and like, I don't like it when I do that, but I also understand that why I feel so negative and so frustrated is coming from a place of love. It's coming from this place where I care about these people and I want the best for them, and it frustrates the shit out of me that they're not doing what could better their life or something. But sometimes that just is what it is, and all you can do is hang back and be supportive, let people do their own journey, and just let them know you're there for them.
Yeah, no, and for sure, and especially friends and family.
Mhm.
A lot of that's one of those things that a family you're born into, you don't get to really choose it.
Mhm.
So like, there's some circumstances, like I said, that I feel like it's fine, but there's some like I never cut my family out. My family was dope. There's family members I don't especially
It's
talk
true.
to. Yeah, when you're invested in somebody, it's hard to. I mean, any kind of change after a while, once you get invested in somebody, is going to be hard to go through and do. But
Mhm.
sometimes it's for the
So
better.
yeah, sometimes it's necessary. Yeah.
Even if you don't really want or see it at the time, you might see your path. It might open up in time.
Mhm.
But like, we don't get to choose our family. We do get to choose our friends, though, and that's the beautiful thing about
Yeah.
life is we do get to choose our friends. So you gotta,
Friends are the family you choose.
yeah, and you gotta very much. I feel like I have a lot of people that I fuck with, I'm acquaintances with, and we're cool. But like
Mhm.
the circle is tight knit, and I think
Right.
that's how it should be. And very encouraging people, very supportive people, people that I could trust with my life at this point, if I needed to, type of people. And I think that's very important to have. And I do have that with family. That's something that, like growing old, I
Mhm.
kind of detached away from my family because I did have a mindset of, what do I really need to holler at them for? I'm not really doing shit. So there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
But like I've been trying to change that shit recently, and talk to my like siblings and reach out to them like, hey, bada boom, we should do this kind of shit at some point.
Yeah.
And it's to me, it's just one of those things that's as much as you can do in that circumstance. If you want to change and you want to like
Mhm.
make things different, that's as much as you can do. You can be that person that shoots a message off saying, hey, this, you hear from them, you do, you don't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like cool or not cool.
Mhm. Yeah, and I will say this in regards to family and cutting people off. A lot of people feel like they can't cut off family because they're family. Um, but you can. Like if that is necessary, if that's what needs to be done, then sometimes that's what you got to do. Again, that's not to say you can't come back into the fold or let them back into the fold of your life. But if your family are the ones that are toxic in your life, sometimes you do have to take that step back. Like I wouldn't necessarily say my family was toxic in my life, like back in the day, but we definitely like had our differences in viewpoints and shit like that, and I had to separate myself for a little bit. I moved away to a different state. I distanced myself. I went through my own shit, moved out like right after high school and stuff. And I'm glad that I took that time. I took that space. I made myself a little bit more of an individual, and because of that, I have a great relationship with my parents now, and my family as a whole. Like I always try to make a point to go see my family, like especially the fact that they all live in a fucking 45-minute radius, in like the same place. Like I always try to make my rounds, and for those family members I don't get to see very often, uh, or outside of the bubble, I guess, the 45-minute bubble, like the other day, I said I called my grandma because I hadn't talked to her in a while. And I was like, you know what? I know she appreciates hearing from me. I miss her. I haven't talked to her in a while. We're going to go get lunch Friday now, it's just one of those things. Reach out, reach out. Sometimes you don't need to wait for other people to reach out. Sometimes you have to be the one to reach out. Instead of sitting around being bitter about not hearing from somebody else, be the person that reaches out.
Yeah, put that pride to the side,
Hmm.
baby boy. Say
Hmm.
what's up. And
Hmm.
like I said, and then that, at least on your conscience and on your end, you did what you could. You
Exactly.
reached out. They
Mhm.
don't want to reciprocate that. Okay, that's their choice. Just like it was your choice to do whatever you wanted to do. I don't think people are necessarily wrong for the choices that they want to make at the time.
Yeah.
And hopefully people can understand that. And then one day
Yeah.
you can
And of
build
course,
it. Make,
everybody's different. Everybody's got a different dynamic when it comes to their families and stuff like that. But you know, like I said, my great grandmother that passed away several months ago. Um, that was one of those things that, you know, obviously her passing was hard on all of us. It was very sad, but at the same time, it was something that I was able to deal with very well because I knew that I took the time to go and see her. Like I knew that I always made it a point to go and see her and visit with her, even if we didn't talk about much, even if I was there for all of 10, 15 minutes, I
yeah,
stopped and I saw her. Like, and I spent
yeah,
that time with her and, you know, appreciated that time with her. It makes a big difference.
it does. It does. It really do. And same. I be hanging out with my grandpa all the time. Love that dude. He's dope as hell. He's got great stories. And they're gonna be irreplaceable, man. One day I'm gonna be able to talk about that with my grandchildren, give them some knowledge.
Grandpa
It's
Sheppy.
gonna be dope. Yeah, Grandpa Sheppy, one of these days. Hopefully not soon. Hopefully not
Yeah.
soon. That would
Carson.
suck. That would really suck, Carson. Kick your ass, buddy.
Right.
I'll kick your ass if you do that, buddy. Talking about family, the tree will end with you.
Hey, I mean, wasn't he already packing condoms? So it's like he's thinking. He's thinking.
Hopefully.
He's got you in mind. He's like, I ain't trying to.
Hopefully. I told him that. I straight up told him. I was like, bro, you make me a grandpa at 34. We're going to have some problems. We're going to have some big problems. I mean, his mom's in the same boat. She'd be a grandma at like 35, 36. You're going to have some problems.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's also like, she's got a 19-year-old. So, like, she really walking a thin line out of becoming a grandma, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's
It
how that's how
happens.
life that's how life will treat you, man. Next thing you know, you're fucking getting threatened with being a grandparent yourself,
That's how it
which will
goes.
turn your parents into a great grandparent, and your grandfather into a great grandfather.
Have a good night at work.
Have fun at the work, slinging the drinks. But yeah, gotta I love my friends, I love my family, and I think that's how it's got to be.
Hmm. Yeah.
The ones
And
you want, I
yeah,
guess.
and just talking about just, you know, friends too, like, you know, just taking care of your people goes a long way, you know, because I
Yeah,
know I have friends who I consider to be some of my best friends, but that they hurt me just because, you know, they don't take time for me, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to continue to consider them my best friends, but they are, like, you know, they're my brothers, you know, and like there's certain people that I'm like, bro, like I wish you would just like understand like how much it hurts when you're not there for me and shit like that, you know, like even just to talk, even just to be like, yo, I'm in town, you know, what's good, like, you know, how can we say we're this close and then to be treated like that, it hurts. It hurts, and it really goes a long way to just take care of your people.
yeah, reach out to your homies, even if
Hmm.
it seems everything's good. Maybe it's not all like it seems. So
Hmm.
reach out to the people you love and make sure they're good and everything's groovy and right in their times when it's right in yours, especially when it's right in yours. That's what I
Yeah,
think is a very good time to reach out to other people and make sure the squad is doing good.
yeah, yeah. And anytime anybody, if anybody ever like just takes that time to reach, like, you know, like my cousin that you're a mutual friend of, um, she just hit me up that one day. She just called me out of the clear blue sky. Like this isn't a cousin that like calls me ever. That was the first time she'd ever called me in my entire life. And she called me just to see how I was doing, just to check up on me and just to talk and be there for me. And that meant so much. And now I have, you know, like, are we like the closest people in the world? No, but like I feel so much closer to her because of that. Like I feel like I, you know, I can call her whenever I need anything and she can do the same with me, you know. and shit like that. It really really goes a long way. So
It's still, man.
reach out, because like you said as well, you never know what's going on in a person's life either. You may think something's good. You know, my sister and their friends just had to go through that with a friend of theirs trying to take his own life, and that was really hard on them because a lot of them just didn't expect it because he seemed like he was good. But that's just, you know, you never know. You never know.
Never do.
So
Never.
take care of your people, take care of your earth, take care of your mind, take care of your body. Just take care of your homes, man.
Take care of the
Yeah.
homes. Got to keep them clean, just like your physical house. Got to keep it clean, or it'll get messy.
Hmm.
So keep it clean. Sorry we rambled here and there, but
It
Get
was
it.
very, very rambly Monday today. We
There's
went
there's
off on a
this
lot of tangents.
there's a Snyder cut in there somewhere that would be nice, and they'd all be in their correct sections, and it would flow.
Right. Catch you
So-
on Tangent Tuesday.
Yeah, so you can go back through, you can check it. It is what it is.
Somebody can re-edit this in the right sequence.
As always, please like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. We got a lot of stuff moving on right now, so there's a lot of fun stuff out there for you to peep out. We'll be back with you on Wednesday. We got a lot of stuff that's wrapped up and came to a conclusion and came out. Some Shang-Chi. What If looks to be very lit this week. Rick and Morty just wrapped up. I was just talking with him about it. Heels is very lit at the moment. So we got a lot of dope shit to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff to talk about on Wednesday, and then we are almost a week away from summer camp premiering.
Yep.
It's
Came out in
exciting.
the article. If you haven't peeped the article, go to our Facebook page and you can find it.
Much love to Jason for the article over at CU
Much
Blog
love.
Credential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope
it's a
little
great
interview with Chase over there. Go check it out. Go read it through. It gives the deets out for the release date on the horror camp. It should be fun.
Yep. We've
Right.
got all sorts of goodies coming out.
I'm hyped.
Until then,
Until then,
peace.
guys, we'll see you Wednesday. Smooches and deuces.